Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of OpenFront.io. This is Enzo and today we have a 300 player game playing with the Czech YouTuber Degrading. I'm spawning in Antarctica and this is going to be a crazy game for y'all this time. So just at the start, I'm running with some early alliances with Hovno in the Stur Pranchar, or whatever his name is. Main goal at the start is pretty much just try to get bots and don't pick early fights. Given there's 300 players, I don't want to get in an early fight. You can already see just with my opening, I'm sitting in 7th place and I have some pretty good positional advantage just considering that there are 300 people here. And just in my area, I got a lot of land. Another thing I'll tell you, I'm commentating this after because I just wanted to focus on the game. Hopefully this will give you some more insights into different strategies I'm thinking about, maybe some different critiques. I know people like to critique my gameplay and stuff. So I'm just kind of sitting here, taking it all in. I'm looking around, trying to see if there is anyone who looks a little weaker. Decide to go for that wrecked dude in green. Looks like it gets cut off by Hovno, who's actually going to be a key player in this game. Then going over to a Washi. So the main goal here is get up enough gold for a port. I don't think workers in this situation are really going to be functional, just want to get the gold. So something I'm doing too is I kind of waited for that green guy to get cut off on that other part so I could get the gold from him. So get a little bit more. Still, just the kind of game plan here is get up the gold I need and pick people off. There are 300 players in this game. A lot of them probably don't know what they're doing. Just need to try to be like better on that front. So you see me doing that thumbs up. Some of the reasons with that is that if you're communicative in these games, oftentimes you get like an advantage of like people are just nicer. I want that guy to feel like I'm his friend, even if long-term we do it to betray. So still just looking around at targets, go in here and just trying to mow down people one by one because I've already got a positional advantage or I've already got a small lead and just kind of extend that to other people. The Hovno guy gets a little bit more of a better angle on that other dude, so he's going to get a bit more. That guy over there on the end, he doesn't know the one rule of OpenFront.io, though I would say there are times to betray. There are definitely times to betray. Maybe you'll actually see that in a coming video. So just still going for one target at the time. And you see I get up my port. And you can already see there's a lot of trade going across the map. Like that stream of like 5 trade ships over there, that's really good. And the other good thing here too is I'm going to get the last hit on the Anon 264 dude. Just because that's going to give me an advantage. Still just want to keep working. You could probably talk about pros cons of going for Antarctica versus Argentina, South America here, just because Argentina, South America, the land is typically a little bit better. And my destiny, I feel it's pretty much tied to the Hovno right now. Gonna be his friend, just want to keep on taking things. That one dude looks like they blew up. If you do get attacked in these positions, don't panic in full send. It happens in so many games. I'm sorry if I've been mean in some of the recent vids about it. I just keep on seeing the same thing happening and I feel like it's probably just not fun to play. So, in terms of game plan, just going to keep on trying to knock people off one by one. I'm sitting in 3rd place, which is really, really good, all things considered. So, pushing on a defense post in Antarctica, that's a pretty doom play, but they've got just so low troops that it will probably be all right. And now I kind of have a choice. I can go for Looper there in Antarctica, or I can head into Argentina. And I think what I end up doing is I think I end up allying him just because I've played some other games where I've had these brutal just fights in Antarctica, and trying to push on defense-posted mountains is just really tough. In terms of kind of city placement, I think that's the best area. It's in mountains. It's in the closest part of my base that like other people can't get it besides Hovno. It's not great because my base is just like all scattered everywhere. And now it's just go move upwards towards South America. Some of these games, like if you've seen some of my other vids, you can sometimes roll with this spawn that you just get such an advantage that you just keep on like dominoing like the rest of the map. You go up through North America, you go over to Greenland, Iceland, and then you can just roll into Asia. And if you move fast enough, you can get these games before Merv. Probably, like in retrospect, it's kind of doubtful thinking about that type of stuff in like a 300 player game, but who the hell knows? So right here, in terms of the Bubak CZ guy pushing me, thinking like in retrospect, reflectively, I'm not sure what the best call is here. Like ideally you want to push on one front. I kind of was greedy and I just felt like I can just keep rolling people. He does have 2 defense posts, which makes stuff really tough, spending some gold on some extra ports. You know, I actually have seen a really cool chart on ports that shows that you don't need that many to actually have really good gold growth. The things I can think about here is maybe I can ally RDX. I'm not sure who I just, like, renewed with. I think it was the Hovno dude. Or I hope it was him. Yeah, because the issue is my base is just so sketch with him. Now is not the time to fight. Our destinies are kind of linked. I liked the idea of sending him that thumbs up earlier. And, oh yeah, you see, I'm checking it. And I can also tell you the reason I'm doing levels here instead of spreading stuff out. I just think my base is no other good place. I think any other city could probably be sniped if I put it on the eastern Antarctica. Maybe I run some more risk from the dude over there. There's also someone you don't see on screen who's really, really strong over there, who will be a key player later. So I think we got that alliance. Yeah, there you see him. It's the Czech. And he is the guy I was kind of worried about, because at this point in the game, I already see how many warships I just got out. And I'm already thinking about the infestation maxing type of stuff with him. If, like, he's seen my videos and what he's going to do. So I can't fight Looper. That one guy up there in the red goes down. And now the goal is just keep on pushing. I'm still kind of concerned about that guy getting over. One of the things I probably need to do better on is just, like, map awareness with, and just awareness of, like, a freaking notification menu, even though it sucks. Because I really don't want him to boat me. But you see the number of votes, and you see the crown. He's starting to infestation max. And that is really, really sketchy. Because once it gets going, it can be really, really doomed. There are actually some downsides of that type of Antarctic infestation maxing from having played and tried it out. Maybe I could tell you in a bit, but still, goal, just keep on pushing, leverage my advantage here. I see the Stir guy in purple, and he's probably a better target, but I think what I should have done in retrospect here, instead of pushing the purple guy, I should have just pushed the green guy, because trying to really burn all my troops to get that one port and basically pushing on a defense post. I know I can split that territory. Is not as good as maybe just pushing into the green guy's defense post and getting close to the really kind of money bag area. Anyways, not the best choice. The game plan is still just try to push, use my troops. I'm friends with Hovno, and I'm friends with Looper, so I'm pretty safe. And this is kind of a key moment of the game. You see those 3 warships in Antarctica heading over to my area and trying to steal stuff. And I'm already kind of worried. This guy is going to infest the fucking map. And it's going to be total doom. If I was him, I probably would have tried to maybe betray some of the people around and just try to start stealing stuff. So I make a really key decision here. I start getting out some warships right off the coast of Brazil. And that's actually probably going to help me, because I feel like that's a key trade lane. And I decide I'm not going to respond to some of those boats pirating trade down there in Antarctica. Just because, like, you know, with infestation maxing, sometimes trading 1 for 1 and how you stop it, like, the issue is you just get totally cut off from everything. So I'm going to focus on some warships out in that area, and I decide I'm going to try to control that lane. My interest in terms of where it's at, it's really red. I don't know how many people really play territorial IO, but generally you do want to be using your troops. But Open Front's kind of a little different because there's not really that great options. I'm also kind of looking at this in retrospect, and I know I do this quick. I try to ally that guy in green up there in kind of the north part of South America, just because I don't want him to boat over and fight me. Really don't want to deal with it. And these kind of boats across to Africa, they're kind of like taking a flyer. Like, maybe they'll get across. Maybe I can get something out of it. It'll be better to push and use my troops. I don't know if Hovno will really betray or something like that. And he's actually getting across too. One thing I just was conscious of, if you see the guy down a little bit more to the south with the missile launcher, I didn't push him, specifically because he has nuclear weapons. One kind of tip with Open Front is fighting people who are kind of like patchy, in that they have like different parts of their base in different areas. It's often not a good idea to fight them, especially if they have nuclear weapons, because I like to just basically make my wars really quick and easy. I don't want a prolonged war where I'm fighting someone who can basically do lots of damage to me. I want a net gain. So that's the whole reason I didn't go for him. Not sure why the infestation maxing threat did that bomb. And you see I'm getting pushed by Looper here. I'm not sure why I didn't decide to push back. I just decided, like, I'm just going to defense post it. He doesn't have that many troops. I can also think the guy on the other side's probably more dangerous. And you actually see, too, with all this, my warships are doing work. I'm simultaneously also thinking a little bit about those 3 warships that are kind of pirating my trade from the Antarctic dude. Even here, just, like, analyzing this, how I'm making, like, the choices of who to ally, it's a little confusing. I think I might have gotten out of the Solomie fight because I don't want a two-front war. And now that the dude, like, I'm looking at Africa while I'm putting down the ports, taking out the guy who used to have the nuclear weapons in kind of West Africa, like Benin, Ghana, that type of area, that looks like a good call because it's just low-hanging fruit. He doesn't have any threat to me. Just trying to slowly take stuff down. Looper's still pushing me. Not really the biggest deal. I don't really have much of a risk there. I feel like a lot of Open Front is actually thinking about, like, where are the areas that are the highest priority? If he steals the defense post in that small amount of land, okay. Like, it's not the biggest deal. You see, my warship fleet's actually doing really well. And the Dodek guy down in Antarctica, his is doing well, but he's just controlling a different zone. So with the type of infestation matching at maxing, as he's getting out more ships, it's not all about, like, you have to fight warship for warship. Some of it's about what zones you're controlling, which, for me, this is going to come into play a little bit later. My kind of thought is I wanted to keep my warships together so that they fight together and I don't lose. See this big boy coming in down from kind of northern Africa. Don't want to fight him. Just trying to prioritize my fights and not get into a battle that's just going to be total doom. The funny thing some people kind of mention in my videos is, like, the secret to doing well in Open Front is to just never be attacked. Which is kind of true. And this guy do kind of funny thing. I basically ally him as I'm pushing, and then I betray him again because he already had trader debuff. Still trying to keep up my warship fleet in this area, just so I don't get swarmed by this other dude, because I'm still really concerned about what his pirate fleet can do. Like, I don't know how this game's going out. Simultaneously, all this is going on. The Stur Marachikovo guy, I mean, he's just a little too low at this point. Looking at my troop count in kind of the control panel, maybe it's a little too low. Not totally sure. In some of these games, it's kind of tough to just be absolutely on top of, like, everything with that. And yeah, just gonna keep on pushing, taking what I can. Still a lot of players on the board, and I am still kind of concerned, just even looking at this in retrospect, of the type of pirate maxing from the other dude. But I do get an alliance with him, which will be kind of pivotal for what's going on here. So with all this, we've controlled our zone. We're actually going to go get Madagascar in just a sec. And I think I'm going to start getting a little bit of a fleet in the Indian Ocean. I kind of just thought, you know what? I probably want to kind of control the trade lanes between North America and Europe. That's what I'm going to do in a second. But also, given that I'm kind of out of targets, Looper pushed me off. It's a good idea to take a little bit more of him. Simultaneously, like, watching this, I am thinking a little bit with a little worry about the backstab from the Lovno guy who's on kind of the same area I am. I do actually have a lot of land. And I do decide to SAM that 3 mil city just because my base wasn't that good. And yeah, just probably thinking about, like, long term with what are the best areas that I can defend, because I kind of look at this just in general that Africa and South America, like the area in Brazil I'm in, they very well could be temporary. So probably what would be a good thing right here is probably actually checking the Lovno guy and just seeing where his percentage occupation's at, where his city count is at, just so I don't get bamboozled. I'm actually sitting on a really good troop count, so not that vulnerable. And we've got the beginnings of the infestation very much going for me and the Dodek guy. So I think I'm getting up some more ports, just kind of thinking about, what is it, getting a little bit higher on the type of trade coefficient. People are asking to ally me. Probably is a better plan not to ally them, because if that guy sends any trade that's not going to one of my allies, it'll just be good for me, and he's not really a threat. Looking at overall map power balance, which is definitely a key thing right here, as I re-ally Hovno. Oh, Hovno's going down. I am kind of concerned about that star guy. Well, actually, there's two of them. The orange dude in Asia and the North America dude. The guy in North America is definitely more of a threat, but I do have an alliance, so I don't have to worry right now. So it's kind of just like almost a muddling thing at this point in time. Put up some more ports, chill out. My friend is going down. Looking at kind of other stuff on the map, yeah, I think it's just kind of like preparing, and you know what? Looks like we didn't re-ally the alliance, and the thing is even though we've been friends, keeping someone else on this part of Antarctica with me is just like a massive risk. So that SAM there is actually really key. That's a decent bunker that I'm going to try to basically set up a little bit later. Given this alliance expires, I want a little bit better of a base. Send this guy a heart, basically, just to say, I'm sorry about this, man. Like, you got knocked down. Sometimes the cards fall like that. I just feel like they're a little bit expendable. The main thing I think I'm worried about now is just the crown getting over. Because part of the issue with bunkering, that kind of tip of the iceberg point where I put down the SAM, is it's very close to being boated. Ideally with bunkers, you put them in areas that are more defensible to nukes, you get some strategic depth, and they're far away from other players so they can't be stolen. So there's some downsides to it. And the Czech guy, I think our alliance didn't expire there. Send him a thumbs up. That's generally a good idea. If you're communicative in these games, it sounds kind of like really simple, but like you generally get better like relationships with other people. So, yeah, I get up my first missile silo there. I'm preparing that area as a bunker. It kind of does a little bit better in my eyes if you're getting attacked from, like, Africa, Asia, maybe Australia. And, yeah, still that other dude in Australia trying to ally me. That guy in North America, he definitely looks like he's going to run away with the game. And I think at this point, I start really thinking about the infestation. Because one of the things with infestations is it's kind of key what areas of the map you're weakening. The thing with the Czech guy from trying infestations in central Antarctica is that it's not like how I felt in the kind of games I tried it, as we see a bunch of bombs going off. And I'm kind of worried about that guy running away with the game. But if he is going to run away with the game, the thing that I can do is get out enough warships to hopefully sack his trade if he ever wants to betray me. So that's the idea there. But like I was saying with the kind of infestation stuff, that area in Antarctica, I don't know if it weakens people who are threats to you. But if you can control the Europe, North America kind of corridor with trade ships, you can cause a lot of weakness to those type of American areas. And that can make it harder for them to take you out. So whole reason of Sam's right here is that I want to have boats in that area, and I don't want a hydro coming in on them. So if I can make that a little bit more protective, that's going to be good. With these other type of warships being spread across the map, this is basically just cancer. Just trying to get my control in better areas and thinking about if that guy is going to betray me. In terms of my base at this point in time, the main thing I'm just thinking is that, you know what? The bottom left is the area that's going to survive. I'm not sure who that guy is. I think that... I can't even remember who that dude was. I don't know if that was like the guy who had nuclear weapons before, but if I can take that out and get a little Mediterranean base on Mallorca and stuff, that can be helpful. I'm kind of already preparing for basically the crown trying to run me over and maybe rush across. Because the challenge with infestation maxing, if other people can make stuff into a ground war, it can be really tough. I think I allied that guy, probably mistaken. I probably should have gone and stole his stuff. Gonna clear out that other dude. And really the thing I need to be thinking about is this type of timer. With the, basically, SAM lines here, I'm getting up some strategic depth. There are ways to counter this. I bet a lot of good players can do it. But I just want to make that area really fortified. Because if I do get knocked down, the main thing I need is I just need some territorial area where I can survive. Trying to get up more of those warships just to control all of those trade lanes. Because infestation maxing, if you kind of wait for it for a bit, I also see this this alliance kind of moving down. I think I request to renew. I think this guy actually misses it. But yeah, with infestation maxing, if you do it a little bit later, not sure what I was going to say about that, but you definitely want to make it so that, like, you get up enough, and then when the alliances start breaking, you can kind of just, like, control everything. So my main worry at this point in time, just watching it, is the crown. I'm also thinking a little bit about, what is it? This alliance expiration. Yeah, it's that. And you can see the cool guy in Southern Asia going down very slowly. I think given that this alliance timer expired here, I kind of feel like it's my moment. Like, I feel like I've got to do something. There's a lot of open front games that can go away, so I decided to go for North America bomb just because I see some of those SAM sites in Iceland and thinking about the angles of stuff. And this guy's got a lot of resources. I probably should have pushed a little bit sooner. One of my SAMs does a bit of work. Just want to make sure that my bombs that they don't hit a SAM, because it's really, really brutal if your bombs hit a SAM. And once hydros start flying in these games, like if you're wondering how do you stop the crown, some of the things are about map awareness. A lot of my troops go way down because of probably combination of oversending, just mass devastation of the hydro bombs. Main goal, get up warships, cut off the trade, degrade this guy's capacity, and do not under any fucking circumstance let him get over. So if I can take out that tip of South America, that'll be good because it'll give me some more depth. I want to keep on lobbing in hydros. The kind of friend that I've had in Antarctica, he's kind of like thinking of the game still pretty standard like that. It's like, it's the crown, we have to stop him. We've been friends with him. This guy's getting peppered. So that is good. And it doesn't look like one of those games where the crown will necessarily run away, just probably because of how many people are likely going to focus on him. He probably kicked up a lot of hornets' nests, pissing off various people. And I kind of made the call that that was the point that I needed to push him. Get a betrayal from someone, have no idea where it is because the notifications menu ran up so fast and now it's broken for a little bit. If you want to know how to fix that, just go click on hide and then basically reset it. And my goal right here, basically just start getting the infestation going. I'm not sure if it's like the best priority. We see a betrayal right there. If you don't know, if you have your bomb, flip some of like your land. Actually, I think this might have been a legit, like he's going to try to fuck me up. I don't know if it was going for the crown or going for me because we can't see on the notification menu because it kind of broke. It got scrolled up that happened. But I offered him an alliance. He didn't take it. And I have a bigger fleet. So I just keep on reinforcing my fleet in some areas. And I think at this point, I kind of just decided, like, you know, I don't think that was an error. I think he might have been going for me. Let me go try to control the rest of the map. I get out some more ships in the Indian Ocean. I'm getting that control, and I actually have the key corridor shut down. Blowing up that port right there is actually a good call too. Just want to make it harder that if the crown does want to get out some warships, that it will just be a little bit more difficult. Like he has to spend a little bit more to do something with that. And yeah, given the data check guy is going for me, it's basically like, I feel like I'm going to try to get you out of the game. Right here, I think I was just kind of considering getting a little bit more depth with my SAMs there. And now that I see a bomb going straight in on my SAM site, I think it's basically war. So, given all this, I mean, it's been war for a little bit. What I think I ended up doing is I think I ended up doing distractors, and then I did in a hydro bomb, which is actually a really, really good tactic. I still want that type of southern point of Chile and Argentina out of there because it's a big risk. But the thing that we can see is I've got the infestation. So the main thing here with these type of infestations is, well, you want to take out the biggest threats that you have, which I've got a big threat from the crown. I want to keep all the trade flowing. And given this guy's pushing me, I decide to do a distractor and then I do a hydra, which is a really, really good strategy that can show you the frailty of Sam. So you can see that Atom distractor going in, and that hydra is going to do a ton of fucking work on this dude. Given that guy has such low population, it's just going to be devastating. Like, if you try to bunker Antarctica, it's honestly just a real struggle. So even though this guy's got some defense posts, it's just going to be tough. For me, I've got actually all of these, like, ports across the map, and trade is basically just mine. I did think I probably have, like, maybe, like, 90% of global trade. Should have already clicked on that guy before, just to get the push going. Luckily, the guy in North America hasn't pushed me. Speak of the devil, though. He now is going to get me out. And given that he's kind of the bigger threat, my main goal, degrade his capacity. Degrade his capacity as best I can. That's a good target right there. And I need to be monitoring that border. Because if there's bombs coming in there, that could be a really, really big issue. Even some of those areas you could probably spam across. And you see a distractor and a bomb going into Canada, close to Alaska, degrading that guy's capacity a little bit. Next hit, South America, that looks like a good one. Do a distractor, do a hydro, knock him down, and make his life much, much harder. That's the plan. That's the fucking plan. Not probably, the amount of troops I've got into the data check dude, not good. Definitely not good. I don't need that much into him. The other guy, yeah, he's basically been reduced. So just keep on degrading capacity, keep up the warship control. Don't want to give anyone a route out. Making sure I'm not trading with other people is also kind of key. Like if I do trade with someone, ideally it's someone who's AFK. And ideally they're on islands that they can't really be taken out from. But really, you can just see in the bottom right the amount of trade I'm pirating with all this. So main goal here, slow down the crown, degrade his capacity, don't let them get away with the game. It should also be kind of like I was saying, basically just monitor some of the other trade on the rest of the map. You can see sniping out some things over here. There is a double SAM in Iceland, and I'm also kind of conscious of the risks of hydroing there because I don't want to blow up my own fleet. So getting up a little bit better defenses in that type of bunker I have, which there's some huge, huge downsides to that bunker. Probably not going to focus too much on them today, but it can get messed up quick. I think you might only need like 15 mil to take it out, but to take it out, you got to save up a lot. And the Zidarnium guy, he's running short on gold. So looking around at the map, I guess I'm still spreading the cancer a little bit more. Just want to get boats in kind of every angle, make sure that no one can really have trade. And what I really, really should be doing here, and I think we do see a bomb going over to Asia, it's degrade the crown. Degrade the crown and make it so he just has less capacity to strike back. Looking at the map from afar, it's kind of a mess, but you can see in kind of Libya around Egypt, a double missile silo. That would have been a good target. The guy in orange there, I'm not going to ally him. If you saw my video on Baikal, you'll know that allying people when you're infestation maxing can be a really big problem. And also, the Antarctic pushes can just be really slow. So, still keeping my eye on the prize. Don't want to let this guy get too far ahead. I think he might need some of Australia to actually win. Not sure about the overall percentages, but just sending in sending in hydras periodically. And I'm trying to reinforce my base and get up my city count, because in the end, even if you do infestation max, you do need troops to push at some point. So still just covering areas. I think just like looking at my base, you can see some bombs going in there. Not the best place, but finally taking out the Libya silo, which is good. The next one I'm kind of looking at is that Iceland one, because I want to make it so this guy has no air defenses. I want to start pushing him, and I just want to degrade him as much as I can, because he is the biggest obstacle between me and victory. The orange guy, if he ever decides to betray me, which he might very soon, I can start using some bombs on him. Some of the reason I put some SAMs at the different angle was just thinking that's where bombs are going to come in from. In my basically bunker, it's a lot better set up to defend African, European, and Asian missiles than anything else. That's really the type of coverage it has. It does struggle a lot from like an Alaska missile silo, which you got to consider that when you're bunkering stuff. So, still getting up the infestation. Want to keep my Madagascar port. I've got warships pretty much all over the fucking map. I kind of wonder how many I have at this point, but I have pretty much a total control hold on global trade. You actually see a hydro coming in here, and I think this is one's going to do a lot of damage. I think that one's pretty well placed, and if you want to do well in these games, you got to turn it into a land battle. And you can see, that's just how vulnerable this bunker is. You got to be really, really conscious of this stuff. And now that Shimbo is pushing on me, I just got to slow this down. He doesn't have that much land, so hydros will do a lot of damage. I need to actually do a test on this to really see what they do, but my kind of guess is they're doing like a percentage damage. Simultaneously, trying to reinforce my bunker. That hydro does not look well placed. Watching the stream today, I saw a lot of people trying to like lob in hydros on weird angles. So you see it entering into the atmosphere. My Islas Malvinas, basically Sam saved me right there. He needs to be using combos, but he doesn't have that much left. So I'm just going to try to reinforce this a little bit more. Some of the SAM placement, yeah, it's decent. And it looks like, I don't know what happened to one of my other bombs, but I think I'm going to send in pretty soon probably a bomb and a distractor on the Shimbono guy and just wipe him off the face of the earth. Because, I mean, given he's pushing me, I just want to get him so he's not a threat. Need to stop trading with basically everyone because I don't want to be giving any source of income. The only areas that there might be trade is maybe around Japan, maybe to north of Russia, getting up some more missile silos just so I can be a little bit better. Knock out that silo and that defense post. This bomb into Australia should be really, really devastating. Yeah, you see how much that knocked down. And yeah, I think finally I'm going to decide to take out that area. Didn't want to use a hydro, like I said, because of the risks of blowing up my warships. And I need to maintain that control to be good. SAM sites are doing in work, if you saw that really quick. And I think at this point in time, like looking at this in retrospect, I have pretty good control. My base isn't that much at a risk. I think the idea is get up more cities, make sure my base is defended, and then just keep on degrading the crown and keep on pushing. I think instead, though, I think I just went for trying to take out Antarctica, basically like clearing a zone at a time. I think in retrospect, what would have been a good idea is maybe just check the gold counts of some of these other players, see if there is anyone like getting up too much. I don't know if there was a way to actually try to work on this a little quicker, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and this is actually a good catch for me. That this random purple guy, he got up some ports. Oh, and that's a big mistake. Did not mean to hydro that. But I just got to make sure that all of the trade is cut off. I can't allow the crown to have this random trade partner there. So messing up with that I send out hydro on that, definitely overkill. And that one island up in Canada, that is kind of my worry that I'm thinking about as I'm watching this back. So the Sturtium Bono guy, he's probably pretty doomed, so it's worth going and getting him. That can give me a little bit of an advantage. I don't think, like, you could look at it either way. Like, do you push the crown? Do you take more of Antarctica? I don't know. I think maybe probably going for Antarctica is a little bit better because you can go win the zone. It's a 1v1. You just win. I'm looking at all these other areas where potentially anyone's trying to get up trade. Most of the map looks pretty shut down. Sending over boats just to cross the specific irradiated land I want. And at this point, I'd be really curious if any of you are Czech viewers what Steria was saying during the stream. Because I don't speak Czech, and I was just in my own world playing this. So, given that Antarctica guy right there, I think it is a good call to go and try to just push him out. Get a little bit more land. One of the things... Oh, and you see a bomb coming in. But I think that's going to be right on my SAMs, just because I'm pretty well prepared to deal with that. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. One of the things... What was I going to say? That I don't think a lot of people know in OpenFront is, like, territory on a lot of maps is, like, really efficient compared to, like, cities. Like, you can get... From just having, like, a 1% lead on some maps, it can be, like, 20 cities to make that up. That's generally bigger maps. This one's a little bit smaller. So getting more territory is definitely good. You see a permanent outgoing alliance request with that guy. Still just thinking about degrading trade capacity because that is the one area of the map that there could be some trade going on. No one has really responded that effectively, but I think that guy just flipped me off too. I think it's just tough, like, because once this gets rolling, it's very, very difficult to stop. Getting up the cities here, this is a good idea. I've got pretty good defenses there, and the type of resources and assets you need to take that out is a lot. It's a freaking lot. I actually played another game where someone got the infestation maxing on me, and yeah, it can be frustrating. So looking at kind of order of operations here, pushing the crown and just going for that makes a lot of sense. I mean, my send level's a little bit too high, but just continuing to lob in hydros on the biggest chunk of land, getting rid of cities, getting rid of this guy's occupation percentage is what's going to carry me in the game. All that trade is flowing into my Madagascar port, which is doing really, really well. Getting up some additional cities is going to help me push faster because... You know, some of the early games on version 24, some people made comments that you can't just bomb. You need the troops eventually. So, complete warship control. Really good. Crown is pretty much cooked. If I really wanted to, I could think about trading with the orange guy, but I don't know how much of a big deal it is. And at this point of the game, I think people have given up. I think the guy in red, I think he's still trying, so he's kind of my new focus in terms of like how I was looking at the game at this point in time. And the main goal is think about how can I degrade his base. So looking at things, there's some stuff in China that's a good target. If you go up like a little bit above Korea, that's a good one. And really just a couple of hydro bombs on him to totally knock out his population. But given where I'm at with everything, kind of good. I also see that level 11 city, which he definitely should have taken. I mean, how many troops is that? That's like 250,000 troops. Yeah, that's a 250k troop bonus. That would be good. So my game plan here, just slowly push, take people out, get rid of the people who are still active, and I should be pretty much set. Probably focusing on the Z guy, not worth it, but I do need to get over to this other dude. So there goes in one big bomb. This guy is now respawning in second place. He's got a little bit of assets, but it's not that good. Part of the reason I didn't bomb like Indonesia is I think I wanted the level 11 city for whatever reason. This guy, the Sturchimbino guy, I can start trading with him because I don't think anyone will really get over there. And yeah. This is pretty much infestation maxing at its best. This has been 300 people. Trying to get up some of those additional SAMs in kind of Argentina and Uruguay right now because I think I'm safe there, that I don't have to worry about them. The reason I didn't do them there sooner is because I felt like they'll probably get taken and be used against me. So in these type of positions, just use hydros, knock people down. The thing I can say too, if you're kind of wondering about Merv, is Merv on this map, it probably isn't worth it in a lot of circumstances. Just because you can do a lot of damage with hydros, it's not to say if you're like right next to someone and you want some quick damage, don't use Merv. But it is to say like hydros put in a lot of work if you do have the time to manage them. So there goes out that guy's island up to the north. That's pretty much the last of the resistance. He does have some areas just a little bit left, and the rest of this game is pretty much cleanup. So if you got this far in the video and you are a Czech viewer, I would be fascinated by what Stejadarki was saying in the game. Don't speak Czech. I only know a few words in like Slovak, like dobre, pila. That's a chainsaw, which I know that from basically working on an organic date plantation in a place we're not going to talk about. The last bunker over there, that's not really the best bunker. Actually, that is a decent place for a bunker, but really, if you want to make that more secure, you need to spread out SAMs in front of it, kind of like what I did, and make it so maybe people need to use bunker busters, because that is 10 million. It's actually 10 million worth of cities and 9 million worth of SAMs that can die from 5 mil. The thing with this type of decision is you just want to make it as expensive as possible to take that all out. You see that? There goes 19 mil for 5 mil. And that is pretty much game. So let me know if you liked this type of post commentary. I generally think I play better when I'm not commentating. There's a kind of funny post debating whether I'm the best player in Open Front. Please do not debate that, man. Please do not. I think I have some decent things I do well, and that is game. So thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.